This program was made possible in part by the Meadows Foundation, the Hogg Foundation for Mental Health at the University of Texas at Austin, and these foundations and local public television members.
In the beginning, a newborn's world must be something like the sea in a storm. Endlessly new, but chaotic and disorienting. In such a world, an infant would be lost without a fixed point, a North Star to guide the way. For a child, that star is whoever fills the sky most dependably and lovingly. Whoever is there to make him or her ready for life. Our story begins in the dark with the collision of a couple of cells which join and then begin wildly and restlessly to bloom and rebloom again until what was just a speck of potential has turned into the most complex organism in all of nature.
You have a new baby brother named Benjamin.
Nick, it's a boy.
Benjamin. And we can call him Ben. Hey, bud.
Two cells, conjoined in the dark, have become a living, breathing, newborn child whose brain alone consists of billions of cells. And there is startling news in what neuroscientists have been learning about the brain.
This is Nick, your big brother.
The brain, it seems, is an unfinished organ at birth. As Benjamin is held in his mother Stephanie's arms and peers out at his father John and his sister and brother Abby and Nick, his brain is really just beginning to blossom.
They're so receptive in that first hour, and they look at you and it's like they're trying to drink in who you are and figure out who you are. They're so quiet and still. Can you say hi to him?
Hi.
The unique part about the human brain is that at birth, it is the least developed organ in the body.
Dr. Bruce Perry, chief of psychiatry at Texas Children's Hospital, has been studying brain development in children for 15 years now.
You think about a newborn baby. You come out, you've never heard any of these sounds this way. You've never had your arms move out this way. You know, everything you do is a completely new set of signals up into your brain, and your brain's basically going, whoa, 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 whoa. Man, I can't take any more new stuff. So many new things, so much discovery, and hopefully in the context of a consistent, predictable, nurturing, enriching environment.
Every movement, every look, and every touch actually creates circuits or connections within Ben Killian's brain. In the first days and weeks and months of Ben's life, as his brain grows, cells called neurons carry messages generated by the experiences he has. Send a message along the neural fibers. Make that message jump the tiny gap between them called the synapse. Do that often enough, and that pathway will be biologically etched for life.
It is really what we call use dependent. These developing parts of the brain require some form of activation in order for them to organize in an optimal fashion.
Scientists are still learning exactly how our brains develop. These images from the University of Minnesota show the areas of a child's brain involved in processing memories. It seems that timing is important. It is during a child's early years that the vast majority of neural pathways is formed. The lower parts of the brain that control our breathing and sleeping and natural reflexes are the first to organize and develop.
They come with amazing reflexes when they're born, and one of them is that grasp, and it's almost as if they're going to reach out and hang on to just about anything they can. There was a little bit of a startle.
Patty Miller has a Master's of Science in Infant Disorders and works with newborns at Parkland Memorial Hospital in Dallas.
I mean, she is holding on. I love it. Baby will wake up in the morning, and if this is in the bed, baby will open his eyes and be alert and see something interesting and stare for quite a while, and he's building brain cells while he's doing that. Okay, Mr. Mendoza.
One day old, Mr. Mendoza is so newly arrived he hasn't been given a first name. Yet his brain is busier than any adult's ever will be, processing information about where his body is in space and about the sounds he is hearing.
What we want him to do is move to the sound and also to move to just the black and white picture.
These natural reflexes eventually will become intentional movements.
And he's reaching out. As he keeps doing this, he won't do it for very long, and it'll become a little overstimulating for him. So he'll put his hands to his mouth and suck to help calm himself. Look at you. You are so good at this. Look at the tears. When you bring a baby's hands to midline, that's the most organizing position that the body can be in. And if you think in terms of when adults sleep at night with their hands together or put their hands together in prayer at church, those are all ways that we use to calm ourselves, to get our central nervous systems regulated, and we don't even realize it. The baby is happier if he's able to calm himself first, just as an adult, the more independent you are, the happier you are.
Emotions like happiness don't come from our hearts, but from our brains. And the blossoming of those areas of the brain that allow us to feel emotions comes early, an important first step on the road to developing thinking skills and language.
Yeah.
At 18 months, Alex Krause's sense of who he is growing, along with his ability to do everything else in a world that seems endlessly new.
Each step along the way, there is a process of curiosity, and the curiosity drives a process of discovery. The discovery, when there is practice, involves mastery. Mastery involves a sense of positive self-regard.
Yay!
Positive self-regard builds your stable sense of self, that a bigger, sort of a broader base from which you can then go explore.
There you go. Go ahead. I got you. I'm right behind you.
Really, the most important thing for parents interested in the intellectual development of their children is to take care of their emotional development.
10-month-old twins, Kaylin and Cassandra Thompson, will learn many things from their mother, Natasha Chubbs.
Mama gonna make you some shortening bread.
But never again will they learn things of such fundamental importance, compassion, kindness, caring, with such stunning speed as during these first few years.
There is a tremendous amount of misunderstanding about how much babies and young children can really learn and how much they can really communicate. The average person probably underestimates the age at which a child can understand, probably underestimates how much they understand, and probably underestimates how important their interaction with the child is.
Everything that we want for our children, their happiness most of all, depends on this simple, intimate contact.
Professing love to a baby means nothing. It's what you do that shows love. It's the translation of love into touch, sight, sound, smell. So to the newborn, love is being held. Love is being talked to. Love is being fed. Love is the concrete set of manifestations that allow that child to build in a healthy brain and a healthy sense of self and a healthy sense of emotional functioning.
As Ben Killian's month-old eyes gaze up at his mother, and as she smiles back down at him, whole constellations of meaning are passed continuously back and forth between them. An emotional foundation which Ben's brain, it turns out, must have to put into place what it will need later on. The journey we are about to take is a journey into the lives of some different people in different circumstances who have one thing at least in common. They are all trying their best to love children well enough to help them become caring human beings and to make them sturdy enough to face whatever difficulties life may have in store.
Isidro, you got a wonderful big sister.
Television and the headlines tell alarming stories of children gone wrong. We will try to tell another story, how with a great deal of effort and some little luck, things may be made to go right for our children. As a psychiatrist, Bruce Perry is familiar with the consequences of the way we care for children.
And it's because she's probably been read to quite a bit.
Together with Dr. Perry, we will watch some of the many ways in which love for a child is expressed. Not just by the things we say, but by what we do.
I love you.
Good job. All right.
I'm still amazed at how relaxed he is. He doesn't keep his arms and his legs up against his body like the other kids did at this age.
Yeah.
There is something we can say for a fact about Ben Killian already, even though he is newly arrived in the world. Ben is, and was from the instant of his birth, himself, and no one else.
He's more laid back than both of our first two kids were.
There's this whole spectrum of personalities that are already evident within the first 24 hours of life. We check for symmetry.
Pediatrician Dorothy Sendelbach has worked exclusively with newborns for 6 years. She knows how different their personalities can be just hours after birth.
You'll see some babies that are just quiet, wide awake, looking around, taking it all in, very peaceful, contented babies. And you'll see some that are sucking their fingers, their thumbs, and keeping themselves calm and together and organized. And then you'll see others that are just out of control, screaming, crying, flailing. She'll stay quiet just as long as I'm holding her. As soon as I put her down, she'll scream again.
We are talking about temperament here, what nature gives us. Our genes make us what we are.
Okay, kiddo.
White, black, Latino, tall, short, raven-haired, or strawberry blonde. But then our genes also make us who we are. Artistic, shy, bold, a thinker, an explorer.
Basically, temperament is that set of coping techniques that the child appears to come with. Some kids are very, very good at self-soothing, and they're interested and curious about new information, and other kids really don't want too much new information, not too much at once. They get easily startled and overwhelmed. And then there's kids that are kind of in between.
Natasha Chubbs has the truth of that demonstrated for her every moment of every day by those 10-month-old twins of hers.
Kayla. She's the energetic one. She's the one that doesn't like to sleep at night, eats everything in sight, loves to have fun. And Cassandra, she's the more quiet, I gotta observe and see what's going on one. Kaylin will jump up and hug you. Cassandra, she might crawl around and look at you for a minute and smile at you, but as far as jumping up hugging you right away, she ain't gonna do it.
Kaylin and Cassandra Thompson came into the world from precisely the same place at pretty nearly precisely the same time. Genetically, they share almost as much as two human beings can share. And yet, Kaylin is Kaylin. And Cassandra is Cassandra. And the same is true of the Avalos children. Little 14-month-old Lauren looks like, but is quite unlike her big brother, AJ, who's 5.
I would describe AJ as a very athletic, smart, loving child. Yeah. He loves sports. He loves to cuddle. Lauren is very independent, so that's the way I would describe Lauren. She's loving when she wants to be.
Come give me one. Yes, please. Don't give me Bessel. Don't run. I'll give her space. When Lauren wants to kiss me and hold me, she will, and it feels that much better when she wants to do it herself, not by force. Give me a hug. Give me a hug, baby girl.
Come back here.
Alex Krause is different from his older sister, 4-year-old Rachel.
Put it on one that has clean this stuff up. Are you ready to put it all away?
She color coordinates everything. She has this little rock collection. She puts all the brown rocks together and the black rocks and the silver rocks and her dolls, and it's amazing. It's amazing to us that she's always that way about her books, and that they kind of clash because if things get a little too chaotic with Alex, his favorite thing to do is dump things out. But she wasn't really like that as a child, so they were a lot different. Alex is like him and Rachel's like me, I think.
Yep.
I think so, yeah.
He's pretty even-tempered. Just kind of goes with the flow.
Yeah.
And Rachel's pretty, she wants things her way.
Hey, Doodle, no!
Of course, not only our genes, but also our parents and caregivers make us who we are. We are a combination of nature, our inherited genetic endowment, and of nurture, the way we are raised.
When the child is just born, from that moment forward, there's this opportunity to take that child's genetic potential and either express it in ways that meet the child's potential or don't express it. And a big part of what we do as parents is try and provide those matched, optimizing experiences so that children's potential can be met.
Yeah, you're putting the card in the box. Putting it in the box.
Because each child's personality and needs are unique, the challenge for parents is to figure out over time just exactly who their child is.
Okay.
We can't change their personality, but we can give them the tools to function appropriately.
Frustrating to not get to do what you want to do, isn't it?
So if they are short-tempered, we can teach them how to control their anger. And if they are very quiet and passive, we can encourage them to ask for help when they need it.
One hand at a time. Hand, foot, both of your hands. Okay, there you go.
Alyssa Brown's independent nature was something her parents noticed very early on.
Oops-a-daisy, yeah.
Okay. Want to do it by yourself or you need some help?
I need to do it by myself.
Okay. She's got a lot of personality. She's got both her father and my traits, and she's very competitive and very warm-hearted. Ooh, that's a rat on TV. You see that?
What's a rat?
And what are those?
Natalie Brown used to work as a boot camp counselor. Husband Travis is an accountant. Their backgrounds and beliefs have influenced their expectations for Alyssa. And so far, Alyssa has met those expectations.
Her auditory comprehension, she worked up to age 4, 48 months.
Okay.
And for a 2.5-year-old, that is quite a bit.
No, thank you.
Very, very high.
I'll say it.
We'll say it. Say it right. Saline.
Lotion.
Solution. Solution. Solution.
She's going to be aggressive and
She's going to be a take charge type person.
If we can use activities that we go to as a learning tool for Alyssa, then as she grows up and develops other skills, then she'll always be thinking, and she'll be one step ahead of the next person. Because if you're 2 steps behind, you're following somebody, and I don't want my daughter to be a follower. I want her to lead.
Which one? This one, this one. Show me. Show me which one. That one? Okay, let me find the one.
But no matter how independent her parents want her to be, and how independent she is, Alyssa is only 2.5. Her mother was reminded of that when Alyssa lost a favorite cup that she uses like a security blanket.
Alyssa, why don't you drink some more of your water out of the bottle? You want to drink some water out of that bottle?
I knew being without something that she was used to was a hard thing, and for a kid, I was thinking, well, it's just a cup. But to her, that was a big deal, and I wanted to do whatever I could to make her comfortable.
Alyssa, you're a big girl. I think you can make it.
And I thought, well, let's change the tape let's put in the Barney tape, and maybe that'll give her some relief until we can get home. So before we got home, she was asleep, and she made it.
We can learn how to look at a young child and look at the way they act and the way they interact and be more attuned to what's going on inside of them. We can tell whether they're tired, we can tell when they're wanting to engage in play, we can tell when they want to be quiet and process, you can tell when they want concrete things like food or comfort.
Want Mommy read it with you? Or you want to read it by yourself? Happy birthday! Everybody shouts, wow! Mickey says, this party's all for me. The end. No, let's just read one tonight, and tomorrow...
This is so interesting because this is how people learn how to read.
You'll read the numbers. They're having a...
This child feels on the verge, she's pushing on the verge of mastery. She wants to do this again and again.
Mickey is making presents.
If you get down on the floor with a child and you just hang out and play blocks or whatever the child's interested in at that moment, that will be tremendously intellectually stimulating for the child. That curiosity should drive intellectual development. And if you are attuned to your child, what you will find is that when you are with them, their curiosity about the world will come out in the questions they ask and the way they open drawers and shut drawers and the way they try to figure out how things work, so they turn lights on and turn lights off. That's intellectual stimulation.
Thank you.
How children develop thinking skills depends on the way their parents and caregivers respond to them. By meeting a child's need for attention.
What? Did you see that? It was like this.
You did.
Yeah, one more time.
Encouragement as a child achieves.
All right, see, I did it.
I did it, Mommy.
And patient listening as the child's experience grows.
It kind of made me think that wizard was in my room.
The wizard was in your room.
That with the stripes.
With the stripes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the lizard?
Yeah.
As they begin to build their sense of self, as being a competent individual who can actually affect the world, it's important that that is mirrored by a tremendous response by the caregivers.
9?
Very good.
We learned that in classes, so we know.
Really?
So I kind of
Okay, I'm gonna give you a hard one.
No, don't give me a hard one. Give me.
Okay, easy one.
I can't know.
You can't know that? You're silly. Crisscross applesauce. That's what Abby calls that part.
We absorb the most important people in our lives, and we carry them around inside. The beliefs of our parents, their behaviors in certain situations, their style of parenting. You absorb this stuff even without realizing it.
Oh, I've forgotten how wonderful this is.
To have a sweet little
That's
baby.
just a little mark.
At the moment of birth, one umbilical cord is severed, but another invisible one begins to form.
And you do love them from the beginning, even when you haven't seen them. It's just wonderful.
Without words, babies tell adults what they need.
Is that a little sleepy?
Little Alyssa awakens and her parents sweep her up in a warm embrace. Alex bursts into tears, and his mother offers reassurance.
I know, it's disappointing. You were having fun out there, weren't you? You were having fun.
What are you thinking? Did you not finish eating? I know.
Overnight, parents like Ruth Ramirez begin speaking a language only an infant could understand.
Yeah, what is it, Papa? What is it, sweet boy?
When the newborn is being held and rocked and cooed to, the feeling of the child is one of safety and pleasure. Every time a baby is responded to, it's like taking a little string and tying it between, the caregiver and the baby. And pretty soon there's another one and another one. And ultimately there's this strong cable of emotional attachment.
Attachment is what experts call this first crucial relationship formed between a baby and the one person who most often meets his needs. That person could be the mother, father, or a grandparent. Whoever brings predictability and comfort into a child's world by being there.
Sweet baby.
For 10-month-old Kaylin and Cassandra, that person is their mother, Natasha. By soothing and stroking the twins again and again, by changing their wet diapers and feeding their hunger, Natasha lets the twins know they can rely on her, and that is as good as letting them know they can rely on the world. Yet even the most loving relationships must often face real-life challenges. Natasha's a single mother with no job and almost no money.
I wouldn't advise no young female to have no baby until she's financially stable and ready. What would I give them if they don't have now? A real father. One single real father. A man for my son and a male role model for my children, for my girls.
Natasha has 3 children, but because she has no way to pay for daycare and with 2 infants demanding constant attention, she's made a difficult decision. She sent her 3-year-old son Xavier to live with a family friend.
See y'all later.
Once a week, Natasha packs up the girls
Bye, boo-boo.
and pays Xavier a visit.
I have to walk a mile to the bus stop.
Got 2 babies, huh?
I take a bus, then a train, then another bus. If it's on a weekend, it takes me about 2 to 3 hours. One way.
And this is my boy.
Xavier is one of about a dozen small children cared for by Natasha's friend, Glory. She looks after them, teaches them to read and count.
3, 4. I got Xelia because Tasha is a friend of ours. Because when she had the twins, it was hard for her to take care of the twins and Xelia. He comes and stays for a week or 2. Then he goes back home. He comes back and stays a couple more weeks.
Give your sisters a kiss.
Oh. Yes.
Xavier spends a lot of time with Glory's son, Kenny, a former boyfriend of Natasha's.
We dated for about 2 years. And throughout the 2 years, he got really attached to Xavier. So when we broke up, he called and asked could he keep Xavier for a day or 2. Could he come see him? No problem, sure. He treats Xavier like he's his own son.
There
That's somebody that I know will teach my son to grow up to be a man.
Xavier gets a lot of attention from Kenny and his family. But it's clear that he misses his mother
Let me see you Saturday, okay?
and that she misses him.
Yes. Love you. Okay, bye, Mama. Oh, don't look like that. It broke my heart in certain ways to leave him. But then again, I knew I couldn't bring him with me. He's in good hands.
We see Mom this weekend, okay?
Your shirt.
For many children, a strong relationship with a caring adult may be the only real shelter in an uncertain world. For the past 9 months, the entire Avalos family has slept, eaten, and played in a single room. Their days are hectic. Both parents work. 5-year-old AJ has just changed schools, and 14-month-old Lauren is going to daycare for the first time.
You ready for school, Lauren? Kind of nervous now. The conference. That's for AJ.
On top of everything, Teresa has to attend a conference to discuss behavior problems AJ is having at school.
You'll be all right.
I don't want to have to get defensive.
It's gonna be all right.
Yes, you ready. Ready for school. Go, Nina. Come on.
Hey, now, are you ready for me?
Yeah, I'm
Come
gonna
on.
stay with
At daycare, Lauren doesn't want her mother to leave.
you. Okay, I'll go sit in there with her.
Teresa is late for work, but she stays to help Lauren get used to the unfamiliar setting. It's a gradual, gentle act of separation, like a dance in reverse.
She'd walk away for a few minutes and she'd come back to make sure I was still there. We just moved her from her sitter and took her off the bottle. Those are changes that are hard on a baby, that makes them feel like they're gonna lose something else. What am I gonna lose next?
She wants her safe base, home base. She wants to feel comfortable, and that's, for this child, in the presence of her parent. We always assume that young children are going to be necessarily engaged by these novel toys and these fascinating colors and all these other things that we do. But the fact is, children can only take advantage of those things when they themselves feel safe. And in this situation for this child, it's new. She's been there a couple times before. She knows that this means long periods of time without mom. She doesn't like that.
I know that was hard for her to know that Mom's gone for good now. You know, but she knows we're gonna come back.
Let's go to your room. You wanna go into your room?
But today it's AJ and his problems at school that weigh most heavily on Teresa's mind.
Ouch. It's stabbing me. I'm gonna stab you with my pencil. To make me be like scream.
AJ's been having a problem with his discipline chart at school.
So was AJ in pre-K?
Yes, Priscilla Tyler
He was at
last
Priscilla
year.
Tyler.
So finally I arranged a conference.
Nice to meet
How are you doing? I'm Norma Hoffman.
Teresa.
Hi, nice to meet you. Well, what are we going to be doing?
Well, we were going to talk about AJ and what
Yeah.
has been going on in the kindergarten classroom.
We talked about what it was like for AJ at home, but also what it's like the teacher's side of AJ. She said he's very smart, but like I said, you have to tell him over and over again to do something.
Antonia, I need you to do what? What do you need to do now?
My work.
What do you need to do?
My work.
Okay, you cut these out, but what do you need to do now?
They want to send him for a referral for attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, which, you know, it's emotional. You know, it may just be his whole environment. You know, us having to live there and be cramped up.
This didn't happen until recently. AJ's had a lot going on.
we had to move. Then Mom has a baby, that's something new. And then we move again, and he's going to a new school. Those are a lot of changes with him.
Teresa and Antonio are working hard to give their children the stability they need. Soon, the family will move into a home of their own.
It's gonna look nice. I'll have plans for this house. It's gonna be long term. My son's gonna actually have his own room again. I think he'll grow better that way. Yay! I'm gonna cherish this. How you feel about this house, Mama? You gonna run around it everywhere? You want to have them where they can actually feel home, run around, walk into any other room they want, because it's their house. It's just a house, but you can make it a home. And that's what I'm looking forward to, and that's what I want to accomplish here. You know, I mean, it doesn't take much, but a lot of love and dedication. Come give me a huggy. Come give me a huggy. Now that I got it, I'm cherishing it. I'm gonna make it stable. Make that much stronger. I mean, I got a lot to look forward to, and I got everything to lose if I don't. You like that? You like that? I don't get a kiss?
Yes.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I love you.
As children, Sharon and Mike Hill never knew the love of a caring adult. Instead, they grew up neglected and abused. Now they have their own children, but no memories of what a good parent should be.
Can you say bye? I can't remember like the touching and the holding and stuff, because I guess from the abuse that I suffered, there's a lot of things missing in my childhood, a lot of things I can't remember. When my mother would beat me, my father would be there for me, even though he sexually molested me. So it was kind of him I could run to when she was doing the other, and he'd protect me.
I had to grow myself up. I was ignored by both my parents. I was in a home for boys, and there's only 2 parents for about 12 boys. I found out I was going to be a father. I went and I left my wife. I walked away. I took a nice long walk, and I prayed. I prayed as hard as I could, man, to be a good father. But I don't have the answers, to be a good father. So I'm just doing it one day at a time.
They are such committed, dedicated parents, but their hell is steeper than someone that got their attachment needs met.
I know that you want to play with this and you like this, but Adam was playing with this first. Yeah.
They had an out-of-control child. They didn't want to be abusive. They didn't want to do the things that were done to them or reject him, but they were at their total wits' end.
Nathan, it's your choice.
The Hills are in therapy.
Would you like to give it to Adam? Or would you
Nathan
like Mommy
is still a handful.
No?
But he and his brother Adam have something their parents never did.
I've never loved anybody the way I love my kids, and I never knew that love existed until I loved my kids. And it's just something that I hope that never goes away.
I gotta think what I should do instead of what my parents done. Or I gotta do the complete opposite of what my parents have done. Once a parent does something, you never really forget it.
Where's Alex? Ah, there he is.
Our first impressions of the world, for better or worse, do stay with us always.
There he is.
Children draw strength from caregivers who understand what love really means, who understand that all too soon they will have to show their children the way out into the world. The old saying is true. Home is where the heart is. And it is from home that one must set out into the world.
You have to put on there.
We begin to learn about the world and how to live with others from those who are there for us at the beginning.
Isn't he a tiny baby, Nick?
What do you think, Nick?
Neat.
This says, Dear Abby.
Stephanie Killian wrote special letters to her children, preparing them for their new roles.
You'll be able to teach the baby lots of things. Thank you for helping Mommy and Daddy get ready. You are always
Just getting everybody prepared, helping them understand that nobody's going to be replaced, nobody's going to be loved less.
We're going to teach it how to be nice when it comes home.
Put your hand here, and let's see whose hand is bigger.
Whose hand is bigger? Whose is bigger, Nick?
Mine.
Yeah, you have a bigger hand because you're the big brother, aren't you?
See, that's such a nice touch. That's such a nice touch to include the child in this somatosensory bath. Let the child participate in that. It helps expand the baby's world, but it also makes sure that the older brother is included in this and doesn't feel pushed away, doesn't feel jealous that they're really part of this.
He's a baby.
He is a baby.
And now I'm not a baby.
And now you're not a baby. You're a big kid now, aren't you? You're the big brother, and he's the little baby brother.
But no matter how well we try to prepare them, children have trouble sharing the stage with siblings.
Hey, Ma! Hey, oh no!
Rachel.
Almost all children would take every single ounce of parental attention and love that is available if they could have it.
What do you want to do today?
I'm gonna hunt bugs.
You want to hunt bugs?
Rachel Krause's plans for a bug hunt don't include her brother, Alex.
Alex, you want to go outside? You go outside?
He can't.
Yes, he can.
No, he
Honey,
can't.
we're not leaving
It's
Alex
so
inside.
dangerous. But Daddy's gonna watch
Daddy's
him.
going to watch him outside. Okay, he'll be sad. Wouldn't you be sad if Alex got to go out and you had to stay in? Yeah, so we're not going to do that to Alex, okay? He gets to go outside too. Oh, I got it.
You got it! Yay! Hurry.
She wants that special time, that special attention. She wants to bask in the light of Mother's spotlight and doesn't want anybody else on stage.
Is it a moth?
I think it's a moth, yeah. 1 week it'll be so smooth sailing and they're both on the same plateau and they're getting along great. And then the next week, everything bothers both of them about the other one.
Yeah, he bothers me sometimes. Yeah, he tried to take a toy away.
When Alex is the center of attention, Pam Krause keeps a close eye on how Rachel is feeling.
I think she might be feeling a little left out. Are you feeling left out? Are you?
One of the most important things that a parent can do is begin to help children sort out the way they feel.
Well, it's kind of hard having a little brother sometimes, huh?
We've taught them that it's okay to be upset and to let us know if they're upset and
It's okay
if
to
they're
be
sad
angry.
and they're angry, right?
Yeah.
And they can talk to us about it.
Is your mommy gonna leave for him?
You can take these internal feelings and emotions and you can sort them and organize them and you can process them and use very energy efficient ways to get your needs met without having to hit, bite, scratch, wet yourself, or do any of these other regressive things. You can talk with somebody.
I want to have a baby when I grow up.
You do?
Yeah. You know what I'm gonna name my baby?
What?
Alex.
Alex?
Sooner or later, of course, home is a place we all must leave. In all his 3 years of life, Sajay Kiefer never has been out on his own without his mother. This is a very big day.
When you're out there in this other room all by yourself and there's no siblings and mom's not in that room, there's a certain sense of realization that you're separate, you're independent.
Come, Julian, join us.
Now that his mother is gone, Saijay won't leave his teacher's side.
It's just typical for that type of child who's very nervous about his mother leaving, that he bonds with someone else really quickly.
Say goodbye.
Say goodbye. Say I'll be back.
When his mother comes for lunch, Saijay thinks he's going home.
Bye, all my friends.
Okay, and we're coming back, right?
But when he finds out he's not leaving,
You don't want to come back?
No.
Just for a little while. I'll just stay here. Can I go in the kitchen, Saijay? I'll be right back. Are you going to be okay? No? You are? 2 minutes and I'll be right back. Probably what will happen over the next couple weeks is he'll get more independent and free to walk around and do what he needs to do without making sure that I'm right there with him.
Mommy!
It's time to go home. What do you do?
We look at the rabbit and go outside.
Is that all?
If your sense of other human beings is derived from this primary relationship that has been solid
I didn't cry.
and nurturing and predictable and characterized by kindness and fun, and if you walk into the world with that expectation, you're going to be able to share, you're going to be able to be a good friend and a good citizen, and you're going to be able to really have healthy social and emotional relationships.
Okay, time's up. Thank you.
I bring the kids here so that they can work on their social development. They meet friends of all walks of life, all races. Everybody's different, everybody has different values and morals and thinking and the way they raise their kids. And so instead of us trying to think of every situation at home and how to prepare our children, we bring them into real life here.
ethnicity and race, which divide so many adults, seems immaterial to children, at least at first.
They are seeing the differences in the color of skin, whether it's a male or female, size, hair color, but they're not really putting any particular value on it other than what adults and other people around them may attach to it.
It's green in Spanish. Verde.
So it is important that if you are exposing your child to other cultures, that you do that very early. And I think the message that we need to send to parents as well as to teachers, you do have to teach it. And it is important that it is taught, and we can't take it by chance.
If you ask me, do you speak Spanish a lot or a little bit? I would say poquito.
6-year-old Magdalena Ramirez has always known that she is Mexican-American, but it was at school that she learned the meaning of cultural differences.
So Magdalena came home and told me she was brown. That's when she finally realized it. I mean, because even though we emphasize our culture, that's part of her. And it really was not a big distinction until she was taught that there was a true distinction. Because I think that we have the same values that a lot of people do, and it doesn't necessarily have to do with our culture.
And it's about a flower that I picked for Isabel.
As we grow older, life can become even more complicated. Already, Magdalena has had to cope with one of life's harshest lessons. A year ago now, Isabel, Magdalena's then 9-month-old sister, died suddenly from a rare virus.
She was really cute and she liked to smile a lot.
Very curly, wild hair, and everything about her was round. Her little face was round, her little cheeks were round, her body was round.
When Isabel died, Magdalena refused to believe she was gone.
She kept looking for her. Where is she? Where is she? And looking in the crib, in her bed. And it was tough, those first few months, days, weeks.
Well, lots of times we would just cry together because I told her that it was not a bad thing to cry, that we were all feeling sad, and that it was okay to feel angry and mad.
I felt sad, and then I was gonna ask my mom if I could have a little brother, and it came true.
Magdalena wanted her 11-week-old brother Isidro to know about Isabel even before he was born.
As we were walking around through my contractions, she came up to my navel and said she said, Isidro, this is your big sister. She says, actually, you have 2 big sisters, but this is the biggest one because your other big sister's in heaven. And she said, we have lots of pictures of her, and I'll tell you about her so you won't forget her and you'll get to know her. She said, because you're coming out soon. And
sometimes my sister would smile. Sometimes when she saw the snow out of her window one day, she would see snowflakes. And then sometimes in the spring when we had her, she'd see butterflies. And sometimes she could tell I loved her, so she would see my heart. I like doing that so I don't have to say much words. It's called The Friendship of My Family, and I drew it because I really missed my sister.
I see a family this grieving, but I also see that we're unified. We are going to try to continue to keep Isabel's memory alive. And I see hope.
God, give us lots of faith and lots of strength. Please watch over us forever. Amen. Del Padre, del Hijo, del Espíritu Santo.
God, his feet are soft.
We are not going to draw conclusions about Magdalena Ramirez, except to say that surely her parents' love and understanding have helped her to develop the strength and confidence to cope with a terrible loss. Nor are we going to draw conclusions about A.J. Avalos, or the Thompson twins, or the Krause children, or the Killian's children. They all have their whole lives to live. From little Ben Killian right on up, they have decades and decades to go of joys and hurdles and surprises. And sorry to say, of pains too. And of trials. How they will fare, we could not possibly say. But we can say that what they all have had in abundance is something no child can become a fully feeling human being without. There is every chance they will care about others because they themselves have been cared for. Our parents do influence us, and profoundly so. But we are more than just the sum of our parts, more than our genes added to our upbringing and the best intentions of all those who surround us.
You're too heavy.
It doesn't end with love, but it does begin that way.
Oh. Mommy's gonna be there for you, okay?
This program was made possible in part by the Meadows Foundation, the Hogg Foundation for Mental Health at the University of Texas at Austin, and these foundations and local public television members.